I'm going to start. The title of my presentation is Decoding AI and Human Authorship. And we are going to be speaking on the nuances that is revealed through NLP, that's natural language processing, and statistical analysis. And my name is Mayowa. I'm from Peay State University, and I have my co-authors here with me, Peay and Toyyibat. And I'm going to start by moving on to the agenda of my presentation. The agenda of my presentation is going to start with an introduction. And this is basically an introduction to the research topic. And I'll move on to the data set description. I'll be speaking on the source and the composition and the steps that were taken to pre-process the data, to come and to analyze the data and to come to a conclusion. And also I'll move on to the methodology that was used to achieve this analysis and the hypothesis. Then I'll speak on the results that was gleaned from the experiments and from the analysis that we did and from the results of the model that we ran. Then the fifth agenda will be discussion of the findings. Then also, and I'll round up with a conclusion for the research findings and key points and key takeaways from this title. So I'm going to start with a recent news story that happened recently. And this is a story whereby there was an author in Japan, and AI happens to be a key resource to our winning an award-winning novel in Japan. The winner of this awards confirmed that AI helped her write the literature that she used to win this award. So I'd like to start with this story because it recently made headlines in Japan, and AI basically co-authored that novel, and it passed the first round of the national competition, and the judges were unaware that the novel was partly written by a machine. And the judges praised the brilliance and the creativity and the narrative of this novel, and also praised the achievement that it brought. And it was really difficult for the judges to, pinpoint or to decipher or to see the difference, to know if it was partly written by AI or it was purely based off human authorship. So my research today is basically speaking on human authorship and generative AI authorship to be able to understand the differences in the creativity between AI literature or AI writings or communication or human being communication. And a brief overview of this topic is basically talking about the integration of AI into content creation, because basically nowadays there is a very thin line that is separating human text and AI generated text. And also another overview is the generative AI models that are being used in generating these languages are very capable to produce content that resembles human writing. And this research is aimed to identify the subtle differences in the expressions between AI and human authored text. Now, the importance of this research is based off AI's increasing role in content production, and this has raised a lot of questions about the creativity of AI. How far can AI improve on its capabilities? And also another importance is identifying the language expression and how we can inform a responsible AI usage. Another one of the importance of this research is understanding the differences in order to address ethical considerations and biases in AI generated content. So insights from this research would incredibly contribute to literature, communication, and societal frameworks in general. So our objectives, like I've said before, is basically to explore how AI and humans express languages differently, And we'll be analyzing linguistic features, and we'll also be quantifying creativity metrics, and also measuring biases in AI-generated content and human-generated content. We also shed light on the capabilities of AI in content production, and also the impacts on various fields. I'll be moving on to the next slides. So now there's a recent news that went round, and Savion Global Solutions as far back as 2017 said that by 2025, it's estimated that AI will power 95% of communications and with customer interactions. And this is what we are seeing now. This was said by Savion Global Solutions 7 years ago. And the CEO, Samit Gupta of Savion Global Solutions, basically said that any businesses that don't adopt these technologies will become irrelevant in less than a decade. And this is what we are seeing happening nowadays. When customers try to speak to businesses, most of the time, AI is basically the one interfacing, acting as a first point of contact. And now, to better relate with human beings, AI must be able to communicate effectively and be able to communicate the way humans used to. And nowadays, customers have been finding it difficult to even put the bot to know who is actually speaking. Now, customer can be able to tell the difference if it's AI or they're actually speaking with humans. Moving on to the dataset description, which was used to move on to do this research. And the dataset was pulled from Kaggle, and it's a dataset that contains 500,000 essays. And these essays includes diverse topics, different types of topics, and it is very well balanced for the kind of research we want to do. And the numbers of essays in this data set was defined based on a random subset of size of 100,000. And AI-generated essays of about 37,000 was used, while human authored essays of 62,000 was used. So basically, the dataset contained 500,000 essays. Then we used a randomized subset of 100,000 to embark on this research. Then the preprocessing steps that was used to analyze this text were text cleaning, and we did normalization, and we used tokenization, and basically removal of stop words in order to be able to quantify and analyze the data set that was being used. So moving on to the next slide, which is talking about the EDA, which is the exploratory data analysis. And based off the data set, this is a generated edge of the data set. It basically spools out the first 5 rows. And the data set consisted of 2 columns, basically, a column for text and a column for generated. Now, the text contains the essays that were written, and generated column contains a description if it's written by AI or written by a human. And if it's generated by AI, it is depicted by 1, but if it's written by humans, it is denoted by 0. For example, the first line is an essay that is written. The first sentences of the essay is phones and driving don't mix well, thousands, and continuation. The table was truncated. So that's a whole essay that was put into that column. And the first line shows that this was written by a human. Then the second line, the power of positivity is widely believed. That is a text that was written by AI. So now, based off this data set, we have 100,000 essays in these randomized subsets that we are going to use to analyze. We are going to run natural language processing on this number of essays, and also use statistical data analysis to be able to predict and to be able to understand the differences between texts that is written by humans or generated by AI. And so moving on, still on EDA, we generated a distribution of the essay lengths. And this is basically to help us understand the fundamental structure of the data set composition. And this allows us to make more informed analysis. Like based off this, we can see that the essays indicates that it is very diverse in terms of length, and it is very diversified. And it also shows that most essays are medium length. The majority of the essays fall in between the range of 250 to 600 words. And this indicates that both AI essays and human-authored essays are predominantly of medium length. And we can also see that the distribution is right skewed, with its long tail extending towards the longer essay lengths. And this also suggests that most essays are medium length, and there are fewer essays that are really long. So the peak frequency shows that the highest frequency of essays is around 350 words. That is, most of the essays in this data set are around 350 words. And the implication basically of this is that this is going to really help us to inform our decision for our feature engineering, and also in training our model. So these are the natural language processing applications that was used to understand and to drive our data set and to drive our analysis. We utilized all these sets of NLP applications, starting with tokenization. Tokenization basically helped us break down each of these essays into words or sub-words and into individual tokens, basically called tokens. And this helped us to be able to understand the structure of the sentences. We also used sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is a way to understand text and to figure out the opinions behind this text, if it's like a positive opinion, if it's a negative opinion, or it's a neutral opinion. So it basically reveals the emotional tones in between AI text and human-generated text. We also used theme analysis. Theme analysis is a process of interpreting a collection of messages and to understand the theme behind those messages. We employed techniques like named entity recognition to be able to discern the differences between different entities that AI uses and those as compared to those used by humans. We also use lemmatization. Lemmatization is used to consolidate text containing similar meanings into a single word. We also use text vectorization, which is similar to lemmatization. We use syntax and dependency parsing. This is basically used to understand the analysis and grammatical structure of text data. And also we used language model evaluation. Basically, language model evaluation helped us to comprehend AI systems and also get valuable insights on the capabilities and the limitations. So we used range model to evaluate the coherence and fluency of the generated text for the AI systems. And also, we move on, we also use the diversity metrics. Diversity metrics helped us to improve and to analyze the accuracy of the generated text, and also be able to measure the diversity and the differences between AI text and also human text to help in the comparison. Then we also use topic modeling, n-gram analysis, and because of time, I'll move on to semantic analysis and linguistic analysis. Linguistics analysis basically Under linguistic analysis, we analyzed linguistic features, we quantify creativity metrics, that is the creativity that AI used in generating text and putting words together, and also the creativity that humans use. Then we compared both. Then also we speak on the biases that are in the AI text and also in human text. And so while we apply these NLP applications, we started with the most common words. And for most common words, the insights we were able to get from most common words where we discovered that the most common words that were used formed structure were not like specific to any particular topic. And basically, the most common words are words like the, to, and, a, of, in, that. They are simple words that are basically joined sentences together. So they were not specified to any particular topic. And this insight basically helped us to understand more about the normalization and the preprocessing step and how we removed the stop words and how this enhanced the analysis of our text data. So after seeing our most common words, we moved on to generating a word cloud. This word cloud visualization helped us get insight into the most frequently used words in the data set, and we were able to get a view, a large, wider view, a high-level view of the word clouds. And we were able to see the dominant themes, and we can see that there were a lot of text, a lot of words: students, electoral, college, school. And this indicates that the common topics that were discussed in those essays were based off sectors such as education, electoral systems, and societal issues. We can also see from this word cloud that the frequent vocabularies used are like car, make, time, life, work, things. This also covers like a wide range of topics, and this was talking about daily life and societal needs. And also, we can also see the sentiment in this word cloud. We can see words such as believe, think, know, important, and this shows that the essays basically express opinions and beliefs. And after we developed the word cloud, we moved on and we basically generated two different word clouds to compare between the AI generated essays and the human essays. And from this comparison of the two word clouds of AI and the humans, we're able to see that these two word clouds shows different themes. There are also common themes in between them. You can see that there are common themes such as student, people, electoral, colleges. We can also see the differences in the emphasis. And we can see that in AI-generated essays, words like believe, important, technology are more prominent, while in human-authored essays, there are words like school, think, teacher is more prominent. So there is a bigger emphasis educational context for human essays, and there's a bigger emphasis on technology and individual significance for AI. Then the topics shows a wide variety. For AI, we can see that it contains objects such as driverless cars, conclusion, and challenge. But for humans, we can see opinions such as work, learn, make. So it's more personalized when based off what was generated for humans. And a major insight from these two word clouds is also the lexical diversity. And this diversity basically shows the broader range of topics. And we can see that AI incorporated a wide array of themes, but for humans, it's a deeper engagement of subject matter, and it's more on an individual level from what you can see on this insight between these two word clouds. Then we move on to the word frequency. And the reason why we are generating a word frequency is so that we can compare the word frequency distribution between AI and essays and human essays. And this is basically so that we can understand how this AI-generated text differ from humans in terms of the word choice, the sentence structure, and also provides a foundation for like further analysis and improvement of AI text generation models. We can see that for common words usage, we can see that the words the and to, of, a, and in. These are words that are very fundamental to English sentence structure, and there was a very high frequency. So, but that was expected. We can also see frequency differences. The word "the" appears more frequently in human-authored context text compared to AI, and that also shows that there's a higher frequency in human-authored essays, and there's a difference in the way AI structure its content, its text, and there's a different way that human being structures its text. And the major insight that was gotten from this is that human essays tend to exhibit a broader vocabulary and a more diverse use of common words compared to AI. And there's also like a difference in style. There is different use of pronouns and verbs in human essays and as compared to AI. So human beings tend to write in a more narrative and a more conversational tones compared to AI. And so moved on. After the analysis, we did a part of speech tagging analysis. And this part of speech tagging analysis, the insights we were able to get from this was that human-authored text demonstrated a richer and more complex use of language. And human essays had higher frequencies of nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and conjunctions. And the difference in style, it shows that human authors produced a more detailed and dynamical structured content as compared to AI. The limitation in AI shows that AI showed a simpler part of speech distribution, and it reflects a more straightforward sentence structure and less variety in language use. We also generated a plot to show the differences in creativity for AI essays and human being essays. And based off this, we used total words, total word count. We also use diversity, we use average word length, and we use fluency and novelty. So we generated this bar chart to compare the various creativity metrics to measure the creativity of AI and human essays. And these insights basically show that for total words, human-authored essays tend to be longer and has higher average word count compared to AI essays. And this shows that human writers produce more detailed content, more extensive content. Based on diversity, human-authored essays exhibit a greater vocabulary diversity. And this basically, as diversity is concerned, diversity basically shows that the usage of, there's a higher usage of richer and varied words, languages, and also reflects that these writings are more complex and more nuanced, and the languages are more nuanced in human writings. Then we also used average word length for comparative metrics, and we realized that AI-generated essays have higher average word length compared to human-authored essays. And this suggests that AI use longer words or more formal languages, where human beings use simpler words to describe maybe a topic or any part of those essays. Then for fluency, we can see that AI and humans show a high level of fluency, a similar levels of fluency, and it shows that both AI and human can write smooth and be very coherent in their text and essays. The differences in fluency is very minimal, and this shows that AI text can achieve similar levels of readability and flow as human written content. Then for novelty basically means that when you check a writing or a language or an essay, there is the presence of uncommon words, that is unique words. So for novelty, we discovered that AI-generated text introduces more unique words And this shows that AI systems has more potential for generating more original content, and that is based on novelty. So AI has a higher novelty than human essays. Then after we compared the creativity metrics, we also did the bias analysis. For bias analysis, we basically compared the presence of bias in AI-generated essays and human essays. And for AI essays, we can see the general observation is that for gender bias, AI essays shows a lower gender bias as compared to human essays. And this shows that AI is capable to produce content that is less influenced by gender-specific languages. And AI is more neutral, and it also reflects a lack of depth in discussing gender-specific issues. Then also for topic bias, in topic bias, we basically search for keywords that are associated with biased topics such as race, gender, religion. And we saw that for topic bias, AI-generated texts are more likely to contain biased topics. And this is a reflection of this is as a result of the data that's used to train these AI models, and this data possibly contains inherent biases that affected AI's output. Then we moved on to do sentiment analysis. For sentiment analysis, we're able to see the emotional tones in between as compared from AI and human beings, and the overall sentiment that was shown when we compared this, it showed that for AI is capable of producing text with sentiments that is really compared to human beings, but as a result, we saw that AI text is more positive as compared to, human texts are more positive compared to AI. So understanding the sentiment distribution really helps us to understand the emotional tone between AI-generated text. And we can see that, and this could really affect applications for marketing, for customer service, and also for creative writing. So based off this graph, we can see that the distribution curve for AI and human essays overlap, but it also shows there's a higher frequency of positive sentiment with human scores, and there's a lower sentiment for positivity for AI-generated essays. So basically, human text is more positive in general. It shows a more positive tone in general. And so we move on to the methodology used for this research. And we adopted a systematic approach to analyze and compare AI and human text. And we employed a combination of machine learning. And the model we settled with was random forest classifier. We used random forest classifier to classify and to differentiate between AI text and human text. And the preprocessing steps we used were tokenization, vectorization, and the statistical analysis techniques we used were creativity metrics, novelty, diversity, fluency, and average word length. Then we moved on, we did a feature as extraction, and the features that were selected for the model training were sentence and paragraph count. And this is basically the metrics that helped us understand the structural complexity of AI and versus human authored text. We also used average word length, and we realized that AI essays have different word lengths from human word lengths. So we use these features. We also use coherence scores. Coherence score basically measures the logical flow and the connectivity of ideas within the essay. We also use cultural references. Cultural references basically speaks into reference in connection with art, literature, and history. And it shows how AI and human writers incorporate those references into their essays. We also use originality. Originality basically shows the usage of unique words and the complexity that was used in the usage of these words. Then we used engagement. Engagement scores basically is a metric that measures the emotional impact of each of the essays. Then we also used named entities. Named entities are the words that are related to persons, organizations, locations, and also cultural references. And these named entities helped us understand context of each of these essays. Then we also used gender pronoun. Gender pronoun counts, it basically reveals the presence of gender-specific references in all these essays. Then moving on, after our feature extraction, where we trained our model, we split the data sets into training and testing data sets, 80% and 20%, to ensure that it's robust. Then we trained the model on the features. And while we trained the model, we also used a random state of 42 to be able to ensure that it's reproducible. Then we evaluated the model. After the random model, we got a very high accuracy of 91%, and this indicated that the model correctly classified about 91% of the essays. And we also got good figures for precision and recall, and also for F1 score. And this shows a balanced performance. And the major takeaway from this is that random forest classifier model demonstrated a strong performance in distinguishing between AI-generated text and human-generated text. Then, while evaluating our model, we can see that we used AUC, that's the area under the curve, and we got a 96% score. And this score basically shows that the model is very reliable, and it has a very strong discriminative power in classifying the text data. We also confirms that random forest classifier is a very suitable model for the text and classifying these essays. Then, based off our evaluation, we moved on to check the features, the importance of the features that we use for generating this model. And based off these features, we generated like a top list of features. And we can see that the most important features that we used were these 5 features. The most important one is the average word length. And this feature had a score of 0.465. 465, and it indicated that average word length is very influential in the model decision-making process. And also, follow after average word length was the complexity. The complexity is the second most important feature, and it also suggested the diversity and the richness of the vocabulary is very important in distinguishing AI and human-authored text. Then also originality. Originality is the feature we use to identify uniqueness of the words. And this also played a significant role in highlighting the relevance in identifying the nature of each of the texts. And it was really important for our model performance. Then engagement measured how captivating and interesting each of those texts are. And it's also important for our feature analysis, and it's one of the most important features we use. Then the sentence count. The key takeaway from this is that it's very important for the linguistic attributes, and it's very important for the classification process, these features that we use, and it gave us a very valuable insight into the reasons what was driving our model predictions. And then the key findings, the major key findings that our research has presented is that AI-generated essays tend to be shorter with an average word length. Based off the data set we use, it was 343 words compared to 421 words in human-authored essays. So basically, this shows that AI essays tend to be shorter with average length of words compared to human-authored essays. Then also, based off vocabulary diversity is higher in human essays compared to AI essays. Then Also, another major insight we got is that AI essays has longer average word length than human essays. Then another major insight is that both AI and human essays have high fluency. That is, it's very difficult to decipher between both of them. And based off this, we can see that that AI has the ability to generate original content, and it also suggests a very high potential for AI to get to be on par with human beings' fluency. Then we moved on to the implications for this study. Implications of this study shows that the insights that we get from this will lead to creation of more robust AI systems that can better mimic human creativity and also human being language use. And these findings can also contribute to the discussion of the role of AI in creative industries, in education, and also other fields. And it can also shape how the society integrates AI and AI technology, and also address ethical bias in AI models. Then another insights from our research and in summary is that human beings text shows greater richness compared to AI. And these insights can also inform creation of robust AI systems. And let me move on to the next slide. Yeah, so a conclusion of this work is that basically 4 major conclusions is that AI text has greater richness and complexity compared to, human beings text has greater richness and complexity compared to AI text. Another key point is that AI content has the potential for very high creativity, but also needs improvement in diversity and content length. Then also for bias analysis, it's very important for the society and for AI stakeholders to address ethical consideration in generating AI-generated content. And also these findings would help us improve the strength and also address the limitation of AI text. So these are the conclusion from the work of our research so far. And for future work, we can focus on enhancing AI models to improve classification accuracy and robustness. And then we can also integrate contextual data and also specific knowledge to better understand and classify data, textual data. Then we can explore more diverse data sets, not restricted, because these data sets that we use for this particular research, we believe that more diverse data sets should be used in order to give deeper understanding and also address the differences between AI and human text generation in order to improve AI capabilities. Then we should also investigate the settings in large language models evaluation to be able to better reflect and understand the complexities of human and AI collaborative writing. So that's basically our conclusion on this research. And thank you everybody for listening to me, and acknowledgements to my co-authors, Peay and Toyyibat. And thank you very much, everybody. And do you have any questions?